saying the wrong one.
No, wait. I think maybe I should have. How about now?
Hold on. Let me see. I got my phone right here checking.
I think I just clicked the go live.
Let me try.
I think I missed that.
Oh, yes.
Before. We're all good?
Yes. Good, sir. Yes,
All right.
5 people watching, Mr. Glickman. All right, good, perfect. So guys, if you are watching, please do us a favor. Let us know in the comment section down below, how is the image, how is the sound, how's everything, okay? So Angela, hello, family home Liam. Let us know how you hear us.
Right.
Okay, they see.
And let us know where you are in the world right now.
Here's Angela with her first comment. Angela says, hello. Family home Liam, you're live. You're live. We see you both. That's good to know. Galye says, hello. Looks clear and sound is good. Okay, guys, fantastic news. So let us start formally this show. The first thing that I would like to say is Happy New Year to everyone out there watching. This is fantastic to be able to share this with you. So Ziv, why don't you introduce a little bit yourself to my audience and your audience as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. First of all, Fernando, is there a way I can see the comments? I'm not, like I said, I'm new to this.
I will put some of the comments as they appear, okay? Some of them are more relevant than others. It's just hello. So I'm not going to show them all, okay? But do tell us a little about yourself, your history in China. And yeah, why? I'm very interested to know why you started your own channel.
Sure. All right. You're a little bit intercepted. Can you hear me? All right. So, yeah, like you said, I'm the co-host of course, China, our channel where we do the podcast. And I've been to China for more than 17 years, since 2003. And since 2005, I've been publishing a magazine here. And I have a company called Here, which is a content creation marketing company. Today I'm here at the office, actually.
on a holiday.
I cannot hear you so well.
Okay. Let me bring some comments. A good friend of ours, Paul Walkabout Rojo, saying hola. He's congratulating Ziv on the Guangdong Today story. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
You're a little bit... yeah, I see. Thank you. Yeah, that was a nice video they made, I have to say.
Cool. All right. So a lot of the people saying hello. Let's start talking about our topic, which is Chinese New Year, right? So I have my notes over here. You have your notes over there. The first thing that we wanted to talk about was how was your first day, your first Chinese New Year here in China?
Yeah, Fernando, I could not hear you. I'm sorry. Say it again.
How was your first Chinese New Year?
I think my connection is bad. I'm trying to...
All right, why don't we do something? If you can, maybe you can step out 1 second and make sure that you're setting your VPN off.
Sure, just
and then you can come back in.
So I will leave this. I will leave and come back to the same link.
Sure. All right, guys. So Ziv is new to this live streaming. I'm not an expert. I've done a few, and well, he's going to um, turn off his VPN and then rejoin the chat. We have a series of topics that we wanted to talk about the live stream. What I would like you to do right now, and this is something that would be really cool if you help us with, is I want you to um, click on this link right here, which is Ziv's channel. Okay, this is Ziv's channel. If you guys go to that link, you can watch his videos and you can subscribe to his channel. What we want to do is we want to build up his subscriber count and his watch time. All right, and he's back.
Hey,
Hey. Better now?
a little bit sketchy, I have to say.
Uh-huh. I'm also on VPN.
I'm not on VPN actually. On this StreamYard.
I see.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I wanted to know about your first Chinese New Year. How was your experience?
My first Chinese New Year was in 2004. I came here in 2003 in September. And so I guess it was 2004. Honestly, I don't remember much. I think I think I stayed in Dongguan from the last 17 years. I think about 15 of them I spent the Chinese New Year here in Dongguan. Personally, I like staying here because it's, as you know, the streets are empty. It's a city of migrants and migrant, and people are going back to their hometowns. So usually, I like staying here and enjoying the quiet time. I think
have to
1 year
say,
I went back home 1 year I think.
this particular Chinese New Year is a little bit different.
Yes.
A lot of people are staying here, and well, it's made the city quite busy. A lot of restaurants are busy. A lot of shops are busy. Malls are busy. There's traffic, which is very unusual for this time of year here in Dongguan. Now, what about? Oh, Ziv stepped out. Hey, Caliber Winks is in the house. How are you, man? Good to see you. Let me put this over here. Good evening, all. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We are talking about the first Chinese New Year experience that we've ever had. So it would be interesting to know, how do you guys, if you want to share in the comment section, how you have you celebrated
Yeah.
it? Okay.
You were saying, Fernando, that this year is different, right?
Yes, it's very different and very unusual.
I thought that more people will be staying here, but today, driving to the office, it was still quite empty. I know that you just came back from Foshan from 3 days there, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe people didn't go far this year, but they're still going out of the city to travel, I assume.
Yeah, I remember last year. Last year, when we got hit by COVID, a lot of the reports were about the lockdowns and the lockdowns. And from my experience, I tried to show people, like, look, this city is a ghost town during Chinese New Year. So what you're seeing here in Guangdong is all very normal, very very typical for the time of the year. But this year, I try to go to dinner a couple of times, and it's always long waits, lines to go to places. People who have restaurants here, they're always telling me, like, it's like no other year. But yes, perhaps as the dates came closer, it became a little bit easier to go to places.
Yeah. How was last year? How was your last year? COVID just started, right?
Again, interesting because I was with the same friend and in the same city. We went to Foshan and we stayed. Give me 1 second. Um, we were staying in Foshan and
Last year you were staying in Foshan or this year?
both, but we were in a
Both. Yeah.
different hotel, and
You
it
have a
was the
habit.
first time that we heard about this. We heard about this situation with COVID, and as we checked in, they started taking our temperatures. So we're like, okay, this is quite different, quite interesting. And as a matter of fact, we wanted to stay also 3 days in 2020. And after 2 days, they say it's better that you go back to Dongguan because, well, it's better that way. There's probably going to be a lockdown, so it's better that you guys go back to Dongguan. And that was last year. So that's what we did.
Right.
How was last year's for you?
Last year was unique, right? So my family, my wife and two kids were planned to go to the US for holiday for the New Year's,
Hmm. Yeah.
and uh, and that was unplanned. But a few days before they left, the all the craziness started, right? The
Hmm.
COVID and masks and everything, and I guess we thought it's a good thing for them to leave. It was bad in China. Nothing happened in other countries yet, and
Hmm.
so they left and I stayed here, and it became end of January, 26, 27, 28,
Yeah.
and I stayed here, and it got more and more serious here. And the interesting part is, so I stayed home. We stayed home, obviously, as you remember. Interesting that there was no curfew, there was no quarantine. Nobody ever told us to not leave the house, if you
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people still stayed cautious, and we stayed indoors mostly. And when my family was supposed to come back, the flight was scheduled, I think, for the February 17th. But in the beginning of February or in the middle, I got an email from the airline. I think it was American Airlines, or we saw online already that they canceled all the flights. So
Huh.
flights were canceled, if you remember. And
Yeah.
then I tried to get them a different flight. And my family was advising against, let them stay in the US. China is quite bad right now. My sister, if you're watching, you probably are watching, and she said, let them stay in the US. And we just didn't feel it. They wanted to come back, and we thankfully found the flight on the 27th. I changed to Cathay Pacific for them to come back to Hong Kong. So they came back, and one day after, they canceled the ferry from Hong Kong airport to Shenzhen. And what's the most interesting thing about it is that what I've said to people all year long is that people's lives changed in a minute. And take me for example. If my family wouldn't have come back here and they would have had to stay in the US, they would not be able to come back later, because it's, as you remember, March they started a ban on foreigners.
Yeah.
And I would assume my kids would go to school in America. Probably not, because it wasn't it wasn't open, I guess. But and then life changed. People stayed away in that in this kind of situations. So I think I'm lucky. My family managed to come back, and we are here ever since. We haven't left.
Let me bring in a comment by Walkabout Rojo. He says he just went on a 2-week road trip, west and east Guangdong. He's posting absolutely beautiful photos on his WeChat moments. Shanwei is crowded. Shenzhen is packed. really, really interesting to see Guangdong full of people. So probably you're right. People are leaving Guangdong, but they're not. Dongguan, but they're just going to other places in Guangdong. The travel advisory is not to go to other provinces, but within Guangdong,
I
we're
I
safe.
s- I saw Walkabout Rojo on WeChat. I saw him walking on a mountain. I was wondering who took the video.
Ah, we'll wait
Yeah,
for his
maybe he can
reply
let
in the
us know.
comment section. All right. Let me read a few comments here. We got Thomas scream "Gong xi fa cai," "Gong xi fa cai" to you too.
Gonchivatai.
Yeah. Galia says he misses China so much. I'm in the Philippines, I suppose, Philips, and the virus situation is really bad. So to hear about, stay safe. Justin says, "Hi, good day, best wishes to all." Thank you, mate. Rock T180. Well, good to see you again. He's a very, very strong supporter of my channel, so it's great to see you. Thanks for your support. Always unwavering support. Um, Here's Walkabout. That would be Mona, the girlfriend. Gotta give her credit. All right. Um, so let's get to the next question that we have, or the next thing that we want to talk about on today's
Chinese
show.
Chinese New Year. Yes.
Mhm.
Where do we start?
Um, One of the things that for me is that Chinese New Year has changed through the years. Like when I first got here, I couldn't care less. I arrived on December 28th. So Chinese New Year, my first Chinese New Year was, I don't know, a month after that. That's in the year 2000. So I'm like, it didn't register as anything that related to me. I had no girlfriend. I had no Chinese friends. They invited me to a few things, but it didn't click. After 20 years of being here, um, and this is the question that I wanted to ask you, it does feel a little bit more important than it used to be, and even than our Western New Year. When you compare it to our New Year, what are the changes that you have experienced?
Well, I think my first impression of Chinese New Year that I can remember is the country is closed for a week or two. I was
Mhm.
amazed. I was amazed. Yes, I mean, I never seen something like that, like a holiday, commercial, closure, pretty much
Mhm.
for a week or more. I couldn't grasp it. I couldn't understand it. I mean, it's right. I mean, at the beginning.
Yeah, it
Um,
was very interesting. We got our holiday canceled, so that was like, okay, this is serious.
no, I mean, just
Your
Chinese. Yes,
first one?
Chinese New
Okay,
Year
okay.
in general. Yeah.
Okay.
um, and after a few years you're starting to understand it, you're starting to get used to it. And my Chinese New Year, my New Year back home, the Jewish New Year, is also quite important.
Hmm.
So it's definitely not a week of holiday, but it's quite important for us. We have Jewish people also have the a lunar calendar.
Okay.
um, like I think Muslims also have a lunar calendar.
I'm
And
not aware.
how about in your country?
No, Colombia, we just follow regular calendar. It's
Right.
nothing to do with the lunar one. So yeah, for us, the Western New Year is a big thing. It's a time of change. It's a time of resolutions, looking back at the year and making lots of promises about what you're going to do for the next year, which are very quickly forgotten. But right now, for example, like 2 years ago, I decided to go to Guomao to celebrate the Western New Year. and there were thousands of people on the street, but it just didn't feel the same. Do you know what I mean? It didn't feel like, eh. So year after year, it's less relevant to me. And at the same time, the Chinese one becomes more prevalent because I've spent it with my wife's family. Do you know what I mean?
I
So
think
little
I
by
think
little, one becomes more important than the other.
I think maybe what you're getting into here is that the regular Western New Year, December 31st, from what I experienced, it became more like a party, party
Yeah.
drinking, um, kiss your girlfriend at midnight, and it's very modern, right? Maybe there is a point here. The old cultures, Chinese, Jewish culture, it still remains revolving around family and traditions.
Yeah, for us, basically Christmas is the one that's more family. Like you spend time with family in Colombia, my country. And when you get to the 31st, you are with your family until midnight, and then boom, out to the clubs, out to the bars, out to the streets, and it's just party, party until there's no end. So it's
And
not
then,
that family oriented.
so it's about and then the hangover the next day, and then another day going back to work.
Yeah. All
Yes,
right.
but
Let me put some of the comments over here. One
yes,
second. So we
yes.
got Walkabout says the Chinese New Year gala show this year had some moving moments. Mm. I my wife and my family, they love it, and a big part of watching the gala for her family is the digital home bows, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. Let us know what was so touching, because I didn't watch it. Basically, did you?
No, you know what? Honestly, I don't think I've ever watched the gala. I know about it. Um, our home is very Western. We
Yeah.
don't. I don't know if I can even get a Chinese TV channel on my TV. But one thing about the gala, I believe someone need to fact check me, but when the Yulan Theater was opened in Dongguan, pretty much the year I came, 2003, 2004,
Mm.
it was a very nice, fancy new theater, and I think the gala was broadcast um, from here, from Dongguan, the big CCTV one,
Hmm.
1 year. But I know it's a big thing. What do they show? Can you tell me more about it?
Look, I have sat through China New Year's galas. I mean, basically, the only thing that I enjoy is there's a very typical kind of art, which is comedy. There are two or three people, and there's silly situations that at the same time are kind of like connected to to whatever is taking place in China or around the world. So it's very contemporary, but it's very funny. Even if you don't understand everything that they're saying, you can enjoy it. If somebody can leave in the comment section the name of that particular style of sketch. It's got a very typical name. It's either two people and one is dumb and the other one is smart and is trying to trick him. That's something that I enjoy a lot about the gala. The singing, the dancing, the Chinese superstars, and I'm like, meh, that doesn't really talk to me. That
So
doesn't really.
the comedy is good, you
Mhm.
say?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me go back to some of the comments that are here. So there was one thing that Caliber was confirming, that yes, Muslims also have the New Year.
Yeah,
That was to answer your question.
the lunar New Year that revolves around the moon, right?
Hmm.
I was reading a little bit about it today. It's quite complex, actually. The moon, and then you have the solar New Year revolving around the sun, right?
Yeah.
Um, so usually the Jewish holidays are uh, right on the full moon, around the full moon. For China, I think the Chinese New Year, in 15 days, we will have, what do they call it? The Lantern Festival, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, I think.
That's when you get the first full moon of the year.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me pull some messages here. Say hello to Patricia, who's commenting. Tube for MJ says he's running late, but he made it. It's good to have you here. We also have ta, ta, ta. Okay, Thomas is asking a question, which maybe I'll address very briefly, and if you have anything to say. What do I think about the EU calling on China to unban the BBC? That was very interesting because as I celebrated Chinese New Year in Foshan at the hotel, the ban on BBC actually took place. And I took a 30-second video, posted on my channel, and boom, it just blew like 7,000 views within the first 12 hours. A 30-second video showing that the BBC was actually banned and they had stopped broadcasting. So, what do I think? That's not today's topic. That's going to be for a video that we can do later. I plan to make a video myself. Simple answer, tit for tat. Ziv, any comment?
Yeah, I did not go into that too much. I saw the BBC is banned now from broadcasting from China, or what is it?
Yes, they're not allowed to broadcast in China. And there was a question about whether Hong Kong would be included. And yes, it was a matter of hours before Hong Kong also banned them from broadcasting and, well, in their own radio and TV airwaves.
Well, I think that this is it's a complex topic. I think that I think they are not the first media this happens to. I believe. Is that correct? I think you
Yes.
would know better. Yes. So, and if Chinese medias are allowed to operate in other countries, so this is something that I think you need to study a bit more before I can comment on.
Yeah, it's not an easy answer.
Yes.
The simplest answer is for me was a tit for tat. CGTN canceled in UK. Okay, no, let's get to the next up because this is my problem. And Caliver, he can attest to this. I go through rabbit holes and then I lose my line of
So
thought.
let's talk about. I want to talk
Chinese New
about
Year.
Hongbaos.
Okay, before we talk about Hongbaos, Walkabout is telling us about why it was so moving, right? Tributes to the doctors and the people in Wuhan, beautiful dancing. Even the opera performance was great. Baijiu helps. Well, I could imagine. Yes, it's always very contemporary, very, very with the times. This kind of gala. All right, so Hongbaos.
So Hongbaos. Okay, Fernando. Let's start from this. Do you give Hongbaos?
I haven't. Yes, the short answer is yes, but only lately. Again, as I've been as the importance of the Chinese New Year has grown in me, I begin to take it with more consideration. But I've always had it in my head. I don't like the idea of handing out money instead of presents. For me, the idea of money is so impersonal. Like that's what you do when you don't know what to buy someone. Imagine Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow, and you hand your wife 1,000 kwai. I love you. Like what? Like you buy the roses, you buy the flowers that you want. You buy you know what I'm saying? It's got that feel.
Hongbao is a big cultural difference.
Yep.
I think I would say I'm very uncomfortable in receiving hongbao. Like I never click the hongbaos on WeChat. Never. I mean, not personally, like in groups. Some people, I think they sit for hours just trying to click. I don't know how much they're getting. Maybe some people can tell us here in the comments. but I feel uncomfortable clicking them and receiving the money. I would just avoid doing that. I think it's a big cultural difference. I don't think there is a shame in taking it. I think maybe it's actually good to take it. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, people can tell us in the comments. But giving hongbaos, personally, I think it's like maybe a Western thing. I'm not sure. Giving hongbaos feels better to me than getting hongbaos.
Well, for
Um,
those of you who don't know what a hongbao is like a red envelope, and in it you give some money to people. So there are some guidelines handling hongbao, but there's always questions like how much do you put in a hongbao?
right,
10 yuan, 20 yuan, 50 yuan, 100 yuan, 500. How much do you put in a hongbao? Here's my understanding. Depending on how important your relationship is with someone, you will put more or less. Now, there are many rules, but that's one of them. For me, for example, I like to give hongbao to people that are giving me services in life on a daily basis. Let me explain. If I go to a restaurant one time, I'm not gonna give a hongbao on that evening to the waiter, waitress, or whoever is serving me. But for example, the people who work here in my garden, security guards, the cleaning people, I give them, and I actually like to give them a big hongbao. I know that we always agree. My wife and I, she's watching. She just want to walk in and smack me in the head. She's
how
always
much
like,
how
put
much do you
10,
give?
put 10 or 20. I usually sneak 100. For example, the cleaners. This is an opportunity for me to give back. I know I'm paying their salaries and whatnot, but I always like juice it up. You know what I mean? Like make it bulkier. Um, there's no better chance for me to express to them in a very culturally appropriate way how much I appreciate what they do for me. Um, if it's somebody very tangential, I'll just probably just give 15 or 20. But people, for example, who work on my building, I see them every day. Then I'll give more. How
Right,
much do you put in a
right.
home ball?
Yeah, I've given hongbaos to the cleaners at my garden, the cleaners that clean around the section where my building is.
Hmm.
Maybe 100, but again, just to two or three people that I actually, those people that I see every day and say good morning to me and smile, the nice people that actually pay attention. Um, but I told my son the other day, Gong Shifatzai, he heard me saying it and he asked me, Hongbao, Hongbao. So they're learning, they're learning about that as well. But yeah, usually, like I said, I'm very fascinated. I don't click on the Hongbaos on WeChat, but do you click, Fernando? There are many groups. I'm sure you are in many groups. I think the other
Uh,
day the YouTubers in
I
China,
do.
right? There
Yeah.
was a couple. I don't know if it was 1,000, but the name of the Hongbao was 1,000. I was
Oh yeah.
wondering if someone gave 1,000.
I put. I have no idea. I clicked on it, but I was late to it. I
But
click
so
on
you
them
do
all the
click.
time. I click on them. The one that is here's an interesting cultural thing. Like for example, my father-in-law, right, or my mother-in-law, he's always sending hongbao. And at the beginning, I was like, click on it, 166, 200. Like kind of like parenting law showing their love and whatnot. But then when I want to send a hongbao to them, they let it expire. They don't click on it. And I'm like, well, I mean, I feel weird. You know what I mean?
I
Like
think
like you're giving me, but I want to also show my appreciation, but they don't click on it. So now also don't click on theirs. My
That's
parents,
interesting.
when they sell us, when they send me hombaos, I'm like, okay, you're not clicking on mine, I'm not clicking on yours.
It's very interesting. Maybe it's because they are elder. You're not supposed to give them. I mean, there
I
are
have no
rules
idea.
with hongbaos, as we know. For
Yes,
example,
yes, yes, yes. You're supposed to give
um,
to younger people, right?
right, you're supposed to give to younger
And
people, to
people
unmarried
with
people.
children. Hmm. So
Yeah.
that's another principle, another kind of like etiquette of home bows. Okay, here's Caliber Wink saying that this is something that I agree with. It's for fun. The WeChat home bows are for fun. The amount is not large. Yeah, I don't understand that. My wife, for example, she loves any kind of interaction that has to do with home bows. She loves it. Okay, Neo, yeah, they give home bow every night. Every night.
Ah,
So
right,
every
right.
night at a certain time, oh, I need to open the app because there's home bow, and then there's 10 points, 20 points in Neo is points, right?
Right, right.
Um, any kind. Oh, open your Alipay. There's home bow. Open your Taobao. There's home bow. I'm like, I'm watching a video. I'm doing something like I really don't. But for her, it's like, you don't understand. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't know why
I
it's
do
so
agree.
relevant.
I can see what the comment. I agree with the comment. It's probably mostly for fun.
Hmm.
For young people, probably getting another 50, 100, 300 RMB. It's nice on the WeChat wallet.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, it's for me. It's like it's a lot of time spent, kind of a waste of time. But I can see if I was Chinese, I'd probably do that.
All right, so a whole bunch of comments over here. A lot of people are commenting. We're reaching 45 years. Um, ta, 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 ta. Okay. Here's the culprit of the 1000. Mr. Jerry Goody. It was not 1,000. It was 5
It was
RMB.
Jerry that sent it. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
wondering. It
he wrote
actually
1,000. Hey
good
Jerry, how are
marketing.
you?
I almost clicked on it because it said 1,000. I was wondering, but I still didn't click on it. Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, okay, I think I sent 40. I sent a home bow as well. I sent 40. And the funny thing is that only a few people, I don't know, I got like 16 RMB.
Right. Okay. Fernando is out for a second. So, what else we want to talk about today? Let's see.
Sorry, I had a glitch. But I'm back.
Hongbaos. So, how much is the biggest hongbao you got? With the largest sum, Fernando?
My parents-in-law, I think they sent 200, I think, or 166.
Yeah, I can
That's
see that you don't work with factories.
oh no.
I've seen some big hongbaos. I didn't get them, but I've seen some.
Okay. Um, let's
All
see
right.
who else is here.
I also want to talk about fireworks.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me
You
about it.
know, remember like okay, so like 15, 20 years ago, there was a lot of noise, a lot of fireworks during Chinese New Year. It's a big tradition, of course. And then they had bans on doing fireworks.
Yeah.
I think in many places in China, right? But I mean, the last couple of days, I still hear a lot of noise from everywhere in the evening at 9, 10, 11 p.m. What about you?
Right now, I don't know, my mics are not that good, but right now I can hear it out my window.
Ah, right now.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
So so I mean, you think it's banned, or I mean, is it illegal?
I know that the government sometimes organizes certain areas and people go there to see the display. Um, but there are smaller towns, like let's say outside of the urban core here in Dongguan, where people do have shows and performances and uh, families do it in their farmland and things like that. All over China they do that, so they're banned kind of like in the city. That's what I understand. um I like it. I don't mind it. The only thing that I'm concerned about is, well, my dogs.
Yes,
When I had two dogs, they they are really scared of it, and that's something that my dogs don't bark or anything, but when they hear the boom, 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 they do get a bit scared, and I try to keep them indoors these days.
dogs don't like fireworks. I agree.
Mm-mm.
Same. My experience is the same. Have you ever did you ever go out to do fireworks yourself during Chinese New Year? I did it once. It was kind of fun.
No, no, not really. Because my family, my father was very serious, very controlling. He would never let me get close to fireworks. So
No, but I mean in
basically,
China.
it was an adult thing. So no, the thing is that I grew up kind of like afraid of them. So whatever kind of firework, I'm like, I feel it's like working with electrical circuitry. I mean, I don't feel safe doing anything. So that's my that's my relationship to fireworks. I don't want to touch them because I feel I could hurt myself or somebody else. What about you?
Right. Yeah, once I did once in China. I mean, fireworks. Is it a Chinese? Is it just a New Year thing? Because Western New Year fireworks is a big thing, right? But not like I don't know. Privately, I've never done it, but there is every city in Israel has a big firework show.
Mm,
I guess USA is the same, like Independence Day kind of thing. Um,
yep.
but uh, but yeah, it's no. It was just interesting to me that I think for a few years it was more quiet when they banned it, but I think now it's
Hmm.
slowly getting back to full police is not enforcing it. So some people are doing it in the gardens even.
Yeah.
The
All
noise.
right. Let
I'm
me
fine
pop
with
in a
it too. I'm
comment.
fine with it.
Let me pop in a comment from a person that has been with my channel since the beginning, Anna Reutemann, when I used to talk about teaching. She says, talking about Hongbao, she says, then again, I have seen people giving gift cards for the holidays here in China. She used to teach here in China some time ago. As a teacher, the most embarrassing was when the parents of my students gave me the Hongbao. Hmm. Uh, I've never had parents giving me a home bao personally as a teacher. Usually it's just presents, but no, like some food or chocolates or things like that, but not home bao per se. Okay,
Maybe you
here's a
did.
comment.
Ask
Yes.
ask ask your wife.
Oh, good one. Says yes, only banned in downtown. In the rural
Yeah.
towns, they're never banned. Um, okay. Okay.
But we are we
Now,
are we are in downtown kind of, and I think yeah, what I was saying is that it's banned, but I think some people are still doing it, and maybe it's not a big deal. Police is not enforcing if it's not too much, and honestly, I don't think anyone would complain much. It's Chinese New Year. It's expected.
yeah, guys, I want to ask you for a big favor if you're watching, you 40 people, lovely people. I want to put a link right here. Let me see. And this link is basically Ziv's channel. Okay. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to do me a big favor. Stop watching this video on my channel.
Are you sure? Are you sure
Please.
my channel is showing it live? Did you check?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I'm watching here. So this is, you will see exactly the same thing, but you'll see it on Ziv's channel. I want you all to go to my co-host's channel and watch
Maybe
him
let me
over there.
let me tell people a little bit about my channel since we
Sure,
are
sure, sure.
at this point. So as you can see, I don't have many followers yet on my channel. I've just started doing it a month ago,
Mm-hmm.
and my own channel. I also have the my company's channel here, Dongguan, with some other content. And my channel, I hope you would see things that are a little different to other China YouTubers. Um, there are some good videos from many China YouTubers on YouTube, and I will have videos about living here, but from my perspective. I do interviews with expat teachers and with parents, which I find very interesting. Talking to parents about parenting in China, mostly foreign parents, as I am, as we are raising third culture kids. So yeah, please give me a
I,
subscribe and follow that too.
I think that you have the potential to create great YouTube content because you have been in media for so many years and you know so many people. Is one of the reasons. Remember that Chinese New Year last year when we were in quarantine. That's when we decided. Well, not sorry, lockdown, kind of semi lockdown. That's when we decided to start, of course, China, and that's what I told you. I got the technical knowledge. You got the connections. Let's do this. Let's do this podcast.
Right,
But
right,
that's still you. You have a lot of contacts, a lot of
right.
possibilities to create great content. That drifting, hey guys, you gotta go see that video, the drifting video, car
Yeah, you should
drifting in
go. You
China.
you should go there and try, Fernando. I know how much you love cars.
So yeah, okay, I see my numbers going down, so I think people are helping us. And let me see, is it going up in your channel? Guys, you're legends. Thank you. 10 people in your channel. Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome. All right,
Thank
let's
you,
go on
thank
to the
you.
next topic, man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk about
Getting
unless you
together
have
with
another.
family.
What is
You
it?
your wife is American. So have you ever spent time at Chinese New Year with a Chinese family?
That's a good question. Um, I think I did. I did a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
not for days. Not I haven't stayed the night, but I did. I did spend some time with Chinese family. I think of my some of my employees' families years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like you said, it's a very family oriented holiday, kind of like Jewish people spending time together, just sometimes doing whatever, but just being around each other. How about you?
Mm-hmm. Look, back in the day, I didn't really care about it. But when I got married around 2005, my ex-wife, was from Beijing, and she asked us to go back and basically meet her parents because I hadn't met them. And that was a very, very strange situation, man, because um, there was some kind of animosity within the family and
Okay.
with the Baijiu and whatnot. It got heated, uh, pushing, shoving, yelling, and I'm like, I told my ex-wife, like, I don't want to do this again. This was you guys hear that? Those are
Sound.
firecrackers.
Yeah. I thought you put a live sound effect, a laugh.
No. So yeah, that was my first experience. And that kind of like put me off from, oh, this is kind of weird. After that, I joined a few opportunities with um what's it called? Employees. Yeah. Remember Queenie? She's Tim's girlfriend. She used to work for me. She invited me once to spend Chinese New Year with her family. That was nice. And well, the thing is that with my wife, we decide to go back home, go abroad, go to Colombia on a year-on-year basis. So we don't always spend it with her family in Henan. I've been there once, and we stayed the whole spring festival, the whole 15 days in her hometown. It was absolutely lovely, and I was so lucky that I actually got the jiaozi, the dumpling with the coin. Do you know that tradition?
Yeah.
Well, here in China, if you guys don't know, it's very traditional to eat a lot of stuff, but one of the most important ones is the dumplings. And the person who's making the dumpling will put a coin. I don't know if it's 50 cents. 五毛. They put it in a dumpling, and that's it. I mean, you start serving yourself, and whoever actually gets it is supposed to have a lot of good luck that year. And that's what happened to me when we went there. I think it was 2019 that we spent it over there.
So,
Um,
so your
what about
wife,
food?
what does your wife do with Chinese New Year now? I mean, you don't go there every year. That's what you were saying.
No,
So you just
so
spend it
we've been
together, you
there.
two.
Yeah, we spend it together. We spend it with friends. Sometimes we travel. We go to other places. We go to Thailand. We go to different places, different places. So, because I, I love my in-laws, but it's one of the few opportunities that we have off, that we have to travel to go
Right.
somewhere.
In your
So
line
I
of
don't want
work.
it to
Yes.
be, yes, I don't want it to be like every Chinese New Year we spending it with her family. Um, Nothing against them, you know what I mean? We This year we were thinking, oh, because of the lockdown, we haven't seen them for a long time. So we were thinking, let's go. But with the staycation and the travel advisory from Guangdong, we couldn't do it. But one of the things that we do is just talk with them on WeChat, call them and
Right.
talk with them for a long time.
I think one of
Basically, watching the show, the gala, they're watching the gala, we're watching the gala and commenting on the gala on WeChat.
I think that's one of actually talking about traveling, doing, going back to the hometown and everything. I understand you from your line of work that
Mhm.
it's hard for you to take time off in other times, not on holiday, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I would advise anyone that doesn't have to travel on Chinese New Year or any Chinese holiday, really, anyone that has the freedom to take a time off in other times, not when everybody's on holiday, to do that, because traffic jams and a million people traveling, or more like a billion people traveling, um, that can be a big bone in the throat.
Yeah, for us is basically that traveling inside China during Chinese New Year is insane. So we either stay put or go abroad.
Right.
And when we have to, then we will go to her hometown. But we try to go before the holiday. Hey, an interesting thing that I don't know a lot of people have talked about if you are watching abroad. When you are when you take the highway during the holidays, you know this, right?
Yeah, the highway. You mean, what is it
It's
about?
free. It's
Yes,
free.
it's
You
free.
don't have
Yes,
to pay the
any
toll.
holiday.
Any holiday tolls are free. So, for
Yeah,
example, for a trip to Henan, Zhengzhou is 2 days. You would pay about, I don't know, like 1,200 RMB each way. So, yeah, that's interesting. A lot of
that is
people.
it's a great benefit the government is doing for the people.
Yep, 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 yep. Calloway Wings says is Fernando monitoring all three channels. And yes, sir, I am.
Yeah, Fernando,
This is why you
hard
hear me like,
work. You can handle it.
yeah,
Is your internet working okay? Mine is still sketchy.
yeah. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Okay, what's the next topic? Food.
But before food, how about decorations? Have you decorated for Chinese New Year?
I never did. I never did. The only time we did was last year. And last year we got COVID, and I'm like,
So this
I
year,
don't want to make connections.
I think this is quite nice to do, and the decorations are quite cute, and the couplets are nice. This year, maybe as you've seen in the video that I've done, we went around the whole old city, and we actually, I haven't done it many years, and we actually did our own calligraphy with the the fortune and the well wishes on the couplets. The master, the shifu, was he did it himself, and then we copied. So I had two copies.
Mm-hmm.
One that was very nice, and one that is a bit ugly but sentimental, because we've done it, me and my kids, and we put that one at home, and I put the nicer one at the office. So this is kind of nice to do. um,
Yep.
and it's, I think it's nice for foreigners to put it around the door at home, the building, the neighbors can see we do care about living here.
Mm-hmm. For me, it just doesn't really speak too much to me. My wife asked to put them. I was like, okay, sure, let's put them. But it doesn't say anything to me. It's something that makes her happy, like our cat. I don't care too much about cats. She loves cats. We have a cat. It's the way marriages go, right? All right.
Yeah.
We were talking about a food, right? What kind of
Yes.
food do you have you tried during Chinese New Year?
um
Anything weird, anything strange?
yeah, in Chinese New Year, I mean, there is a lot of kind of food, right? Have you ever had the pun choi? Pun choi?
What's fun? No, what is
Pun choi is
punchoi?
a very Guangdong dish. It's like, it's a huge plate, like huge, of mixed steam, like seafood and meats, and a lot of stuff. I think it's like, because it's big, it's a mix, and it's for the whole family, probably more than the small brother, sister, mother, father family, but bigger than that. This is a very
Punchai.
southern tradition. Yeah, pansai. You looking for it?
Punchai.
Pansai.
Ji
Pun
xiong xiao. Ji xiong
choi
xiao Chinese.
in here they say.
Mm-hmm.
um but yeah, I mean, I was just saying to Guangdong today when they did a video how it's similar to the Jewish people again, because of the superstition in food also. In
Mm-hmm.
Israel, we we do honey with apple. We eat apple with honey because it symbolizes the next year will be sweet. And we eat the we're supposed to have the head of the fish and not the tail, so we are going to be a head and not in the tail,
Ah.
you know what I mean? So there is a lot of symbolism in our religion, in our tradition, the same like in China. Do you eat any specific food symbolizing Chinese New Year?
Well, the only one that I know is that you are supposed to have like one of each different meat. Like you gotta have beef, you gotta have chicken, you gotta have duck. What else? What am I missing?
Sounds like a
Um,
typical Chinese dinner.
yes, that's normal in my in-laws home, and the jiaozi, of course. So the weirdest thing that I've experienced, and this is my first Chinese New Year spent with in-laws, as I mentioned, with my ex-wife. They served me camel hoof, the the
Ouch.
the foot of the camel. I'm like, what is this? Oh, camel is very good, and I'm like, mhm. So that was a weird one. But that was in Beijing, as I said, that was in the north. So I don't know if that was part of the what they have. They all have to eat, but yeah, that's the only strange
Strange,
thing that I've tried.
strange, strange food you eat in China. That's maybe the next topic for our live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's Caliber Ring saying something that I wanted to talk about. Yes, when you eat the fish, you're not supposed to flip it over. Do you know that? You know why?
I don't know why.
The
Sounds familiar.
basically, it says, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Apparently, if you flip the fish, the fisherman's boat would capsize, would flip over at sea. It will be it's like a symbol of danger for the fisherman, who used to be usually somebody in the family, right? So basically, you eat one side, and then you remove the bones, and you eat the bottom side. You don't flip it on the plate itself to eat
Is
the other
this is
side.
this is this is just traditional superstitious? This is not Tao or Buddhism, right? This is,
Mm.
I would assume this is just. I wonder where this has started. And like this thing with the fish, is it all over China, or is it specific to any region?
I would not know, but then people in the comment section could let us know. All right, man. Let's move on to the next topic. Because we have a long list of topics. We were talking about okay, any faux pas that you remember from the Chinese New Year gala.
What is it again?
Any
Sorry.
any mistakes or any things that the West have criticized about the Chinese New Year gala in the past? I remember there were some African dance, some African sketch a few years back, and some people were complaining about it, calling it blackface. Do you remember that issue?
Um, not about China. I remember this about other country. So something was not politically correct. You're saying?
Yes, yes, yes. Something that people don't take too well. Um, I feel that that's sometimes Chinese don't think it is going to offend people, but in today's world, it's so easy to offend people. That yeah, that's what they
Right.
got in that
Right.
particular one.
Yes.
Uh,
You mean some kind of supposed racism that maybe was not meant, maybe even not
yes,
understood in the same way.
yes, correctly. That was one thing that I remember from the Chinese New Year gala that was not very well received. This year there was something quite interesting. I was in Foshan, and I actually this is very funny. I was making a video in the Kung Fu Museum in Foshan. It's everything about IP Man or Yip Man, who's like the father of Chinese kung fu.
Because Foshan is where the house of Bruce Lee, right?
I don't know
Or
if
is
it was
just
Bruce
Zhongshan?
Lee. It's all about Yip Man, IP Man.
Mm, mm.
And I'm making my video, and I check my phone, and the Barretts have a video about about Foshan and this particular place, and they're practicing kung fu. But then again, during the gala, the actor who actually represents this year IP Man and another superstar who's very famous for kung fu, they were actually having a bit of a dance and a bit of a fighting scene. Did you hear anything about that? Did you see it? Wenchong Foshan. Yes.
No. Can't help you there.
Yeah, that
Wing
was something
Chun.
that was quite cool. They did a bit of a sketch of a little bit of fighting, and it's all very. What was very interesting to me is that I'm in Foshan and seeing the pictures of IP Man, and here we go. It's on the gala. That was quite cool. Caliber Wing says Wing Chun Foshan. Hey, this is interesting. Caliber Wings. Okay, a thing about Caliber Wings. We interviewed him for, of course, China. So keep an eye open for that. It's going to be
Right.
released when?
Is it? I think it's gonna go on the week after this next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Basically, in about a week.
He's saying that the only acceptable blackface was Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic of Thunder.
Well, maybe there were a few more, but yeah, one of them.
Okay,
So, Fernando, how about
it's not the father of Kung Fu, the father of Wing Chun. How about what?
we talk about the animals? Is this your year?
Yes.
This
Here's a
is
very
your
interesting thing.
year. So this
I
is like
was born at 5 o'clock in the morning, Colombia time, and I had this discussion with a friend of ours, with Mary and Miguel. Um, I was born at 5 o'clock in the morning on Chinese New Year in 1973. So I'm an ox, right? I'm an ox. Is
you're an
this
ox.
is this year's animal? And basically, if you do the clock, the world clock, and the time zone, it ends up being like 6 o'clock in the afternoon on the first year of Chinese New Year in 1973. Because we were debating whether I was the tail of the rat or the horn of the ox, and I ended up, yes, I am the horn of the ox.
So
what's your animal sign?
so how has it been wearing the red underwear in the last 2 days?
Do you think I shut up?
No, you need to wear a lot of red underwear this year. But before before I talk about my animal
Animal?
sign, um, you know the story of the race, right?
No.
Um, the race of the 12 animals, how they were picked, the order.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. To see
So
who would go first.
it's very interesting, right? Because the ox came in second, and
Hmm.
the rat was first. And you know what happened in the end there? Um, the rat asked the ox to ride on its back
And then
across
he
the
jumped.
river. And then a second before they reached, he jumped and he cheated and he won the
Hmm.
race and the ox came second. So, I think we can correct this historical mistake and the ox should have been first, right?
Yeah,
If there was what they call it, like what they do today with football, they go back to the camera.
yeah. Replay was a
Yes, exactly.
photo
Um,
finish.
exactly. But yeah, my animal is a monkey.
Are you a monkey?
I'm a monkey.
Well, you do
Yes,
look a little bit like a monkey. I mean, I can
yes.
see it in you.
But it's funny
What are
because
the
before,
traits of the monkey? What's the personality of a monkey?
I don't know. I don't really, horoscopes and stuff like that. I always think that it's always kind of like made to sound like it can be anyone. Um,
Really?
but actually, I'm a Taurus. I'm a bull on the Western zodiac.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's kind of like the ox. And it's what's interesting is that I didn't even know about all of this before I came to China.
Hmm.
Nothing. Did you know anything about this tradition, this
No,
Chinese zodiac and stuff like that?
no, 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 no. And I actually, when I started my company, it became such an issue because I had no idea um, how to schedule my work. You know what I mean? Like we sell like terms or semesters or whatever you want to call them. It's actually like 4 or 5 months, but our holiday depending on, well, when do the kids go on vacation, when are the kids going to go away, and it all depends on the lunar new year. So it became more like something that annoyed me more than anything, not being able to know um when are we of work, like, oh, we're gonna have to wait and see until the government produces the official calendar, blah blah blah. This is back in the early 2000s. Nowadays is easy to double check. But yes, I didn't know my teachers. So when can I buy my tickets back home? And I'm like, I'll have to tell you a bit later. Oh, but the earlier I buy, the cheaper they are. And I know I also want to go away, but I don't know right now when we're going to stop. So it was a bit annoying for me from that standpoint,
Right.
of not knowing when it was going to be.
I was going to do a video about the ox market. You know the ox market in Dongguan?
No, sir.
There is a one of the biggest ox markets in Southeast Asia in Dongguan, in Hanli town,
Mm.
and people come from all over Asia to buy cattle here.
Uh-huh.
And I was going to do a video. I went there. It's an hour away, and a couple of weeks ago, for the new year, and they didn't let us do the video. They say the pandemic, blah blah blah. You need a COVID test. You need to set up an appointment. It's the this kind of times. So that was a shame. I wanted to do it for the ox year, but I guess I have a year to do that. Maybe we can go together.
All right.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying that the year of the rat, yeah, is not the most auspicious. Oh, it's kind of a wings. He was saying that every year of the rat is not exactly the best. And he was mentioning that the Sichuan earthquake was also in the year of the rat. And
To,
you'll be right, because that was
right.
2008, I think. Yeah.
The Sichuan earthquake happened on my birthday.
Mhm.
Yep.
For real?
Yep. I remember that on my birthday. Yes.
Hmm.
May 12th. Yeah. 2008, right? Yeah.
Caliber Wings is asking if this is a Neo cap, and yes, it is. And the cap that you gave me, which I wanted to wear, it's in the car, so I was not gonna go. It's a bit cold tonight, but I wanted to wear yours. Thanks for the
Oh
present,
yeah.
Mike.
Yeah. I have it here somewhere from, yeah, from Noel.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about bonus salaries. Yeah, how does that affect payroll and whatnot?
Bonus salaries. Yes. Do
Mm-hmm.
you get them?
During Chinese New Year. No, look, I actually, the Chinese people that work for me, I always pay them 13 months salary. So in the middle of the year, they get half a month, and at the end of the year, they get half a month. And on Chinese New Year, I take people on a dinner, right? Something nice, something that we can all enjoy. And this year, it was a little bit weird, so we didn't really have a dinner for the Chinese staff. But in the past, that's what I used to do. And home here, home there. I remember one of the first ones, but I guess I bought things for the employees. Because again, as I was saying, the people needed this. So I remember I bought shuffles. I needed those ones. But I bought shuffles for the employees in the company. Uh, that's what it was back in my time. That's how we celebrate. What do you do with your company?
Yes, I couldn't hear you much. I'm trying to fix it.
Oh, it's the time of the evening. We are to have a little trouble. All right, guys. So let me what we're going to proceed to start his camera. Let me remind you that Ziv and I work together in a channel called, of course, China. One of the things that we like to do is we like to shoot outside, outdoors, and it's what makes us a little bit different. Now, this particular show that we're doing today, which is called China Time, is something that we're going to be doing on a more frequent way. We're going to do it on a weekly basis. We're determining what time of day works best for both of us to have it for you guys as an option to watch it. And we basically been asked many times to do online shows on, of course, China. And we feel that we don't want to do that. We want that show to be only about us going out and showing people what China is about. So we are not going to be doing this kind of live shows. We will probably do live shows at some point, but we will not do online guests. Only people that we can actually meet face to face. And I think that that's a unique selling point for our channel, of course, China. Now, when we want to talk to somebody that's this particular show is going to be an opportunity because we're both here in Dongguan. Okay, Ziv is back. Let me pull him in.
Hi.
Ziv. Okay, I was talking about what this show is going to be about. We're going to give it some regularity, and it's going to be a very good opportunity for us to bring people who want to be on the, of course, China podcast, but cannot come to Dongguan, or we cannot come to them. So
Right.
this could be a good opportunity to interview people around China or even abroad and talk about China issues. So this is a complement to our, of course, China channel.
Right. This one, as we say, this one is a China time. So we're doing it, we are broadcasting it on all three channels. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think I heard some of what you say there. Yeah. Some people have been asking us, a few people in the past few months about doing of course China, but they are not in a position where we can interview them in person, right?
Mhm. But
um
the unique selling proposition for, of course, China is to actually go outside and meet the people and show you real life in China. Real life in China, people walking outside, people up in the out. That we won't show in, of course, China. Zip, do you have any topics on the list of idea? Okay, I think I lost Zip for a second.
I think, yeah, like I said, the internet connection on my side. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little bit choppy.
Not so good. Yeah.
Well, look, there's going for and 20 minutes almost. So I think it's a good time to perhaps cut the video short. This is a time in China where a lot of people connect to the internet and abroad as well. So the connection gets very choppy. It's a known fact. So, guys, I want
Right.
to, on behalf of me and Ziv, I want to thank you all for watching our video, for watching us today. Thank you so very much for being with us and listening to our first inaugural China Time live stream. Let me ask you, Ziv, any last thoughts? What's cooking in your channel?
Yeah, I'm going to release a video in the next couple of days about the old city of Dongguan. I did a tour with a good tour guide in
Mhm.
English that took me around the Guanchang district, the old city, and that is coming out soon, as well as a few more of my educator's voice and parents' voice interviews that I've been doing. I'm also
Mhm.
thinking of starting to do the same thing with third culture kids, with teenagers in China. I think that could be interesting. And yeah, and a few more videos coming up. You can just stay tuned. If you subscribe to my channel just during this live time, I thank you. And
Mhm.
I look forward to do more of these live shows with you. Hopefully we can figure out the connection that was not at its best today, for me at least. um, but this is exciting, so I'm really excited and looking forward to do more on YouTube and provide more good quality content, as you've been doing
Yes.
in the last few years.
Good. So in the comment section, you see the link to this video on Ziv's channel. So you can go click there, subscribe, watch his content. And well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. Remember that if you want to support the work that we do, you can always help us and contribute to our channels using the QR code if you are here in China. It helps to, well, support the work that we do in these channels. All right, guys, that's all the time we have today. Ziv, thank you so very
All
much.
right, thanks,
And well,
Fernando.
guys, until we see you again, take it
Till
easy
next time.
and